You're probably getting a reflection from the glasses, but I need the glasses to see. So there's this is basically an intro to starting out in FPV, first learning. I'm not going to cover like setting up the drone. I mean, when you buy the kit, it comes with instructions. There's a million videos there, but just like to first start flying, there's best way to start is the sim. Once you have the controller, like this right here is all the tracks on VelociDrone. They have all these different tracks you can use. Some, good for like the whoops. They have big open ones where you use a bigger drone, 5-inch or whatever. And then where is VelociDrone costs about $18, and I bought all these packs. But go to sceneries, yeah, it shows you right there all the stuff they have. But also, what I started out with Liftoff. They have a bunch of tracks. The physics supposed to be better on Liftoff. I use Liftoff a lot. I use the micros a lot because I started off with a micro. They're smaller. You can fly them indoors. They have prop guards so you can bounce off things. They're pretty indestructible. They're good to learn with, though flying indoors can be a little hard. But this is the micro drone, the one I'm gonna do here. But there's also Try FPV that has good graphics, and you can follow skydivers, you can follow parasailers, and all these other things, like along with very high definition maps. Then there's also Uncrash that has very high definition maps. There's a bunch of different ones. I'm not going to load them all, but I mean you can see them on YouTube. So let's get going. Oh, I gotta plug my controller in. So you can take your controller, which probably can't see because it's dark in here, and then you just plug in the USB into it, which you can't fucking see, and then you select enter for joystick, whatever the enter button is on yours. I'm going to start with micros because I usually tell people to start with whoops, and then we'll go over some stuff. And this is the joystick I don't normally use because it's a little crappy, but it's small, simple, easy for me to grab. I really kind of use these spare ones on these, not my normal one I fly with. This is kind of like my whoop one I use in the house a lot. Alright, so let's go to options. Let's go to controller. Jumper T light. Let's just calibrate it. So then you just move the sticks all around. Make sure it gets all of the points. And then once it's centered, which I can't see to see the joystick, throttle doesn't auto center, so. And then I gotta center all sticks again. I'm assuming it's centered. And then pitch stick. Roll. And then yaw. Alright, so throttle's working. Yaw left, right. Roll left, right. And here I can show you how it moves the drone. You can see it pitch down when you push forward, up, left, right, yaw. So also when you turn, you use both yaw and roll, or else if the drone's like this, it'll stay just pointed down. But this is angle mode, so angle mode, or here they call it level. If you roll and let go of the stick, it centers. Pitch, let go, it always comes back to level. That's what angle mode does. That's what you'll start flying around with in the house. Throttle doesn't have a centering, so you start off 0 throttle to arm it, and then you slowly lift up the throttle to get the drone moving up. Find the hover point. If you go too high, it'll shoot into the sky, so you got to get used to it. Save that, and let's go back. We have to set up an arm switch on this. Your drone should come already set up out of the package, but on the controller, arm, I always use this top left switch out of the way, so we're gonna have that for arm. Flight modes, that's to do angle and all the other stuff. I'll just do this switch here. So, firm, and that's good for now, just to get it in the air. All right, so we're gonna fly single player. All right, we could just do this. We could just do the house, but they have a bunch of maps, you know, different ones: rock climbing, warehouse, the park's pretty, the nighttime, flooded place, a bunch of different maps. But I just do this one because I don't think I've done that one. Free flight. We're not going to do a racetrack. I built this drone to be like the Emax Nano. I even wrote that. It's got small, weak props, weak motors. I haven't test flown it yet, but I just wanted to make it weak to match some of the drones you buy. So I have the noise on for this. I guess we could shut the noise off, but analog has noise, so, but we can turn it off. Hit C, it shuts it off. All right, so we're in level mode, but you can change it. Right, acro is manual control. Like if you turn the drone like on an angle, when you let go of the stick, it'll just stay at that angle. You have to bring it back center. But it's easier to start with level, which is angle mode, so the drone will stay level. You turn like this and let go of the stick, it comes back level. Never perfect, usually drifts, but on the quad. So you can see in the bottom, the middle, that's the joysticks there. You just test it out, everything's working. Okay, so you slowly come up with the throttle. Wow, this is like really weak. Okay, see, and it's drifting a little. Okay, that's how it be. But you just slowly go to the throttle and try to bring it down a little, and then hover at this point. Just move the stick slightly to keep it in spot. Then come up to like level with the lamp, and then just try to keep the throttle so it stays there. Just fine moving the throttle just a little bit to try to keep it there. And you just want to practice staying at certain levels. So you come up, level with this, and just try to stay level with this to fine tune it. Then you come up here, and then you just want to like try to get back to your hover point. It's a little easier on the sim because there's no wind, there's nothing pushing it, there's no drone freaking out because the frame sucks. I have a drone I made to be ultra light, so there's a lot of vibration in the frame, especially when I put the big batteries that actually flexes the frame and it's all crooked, and so the drone will start like vibrating. So at the same throttle, will all of a sudden shoot up and then come back down. But you just practice holding the throttle and move around. When you start to lean forward, you have to give it more throttle, because like the drones, like if, let's see if I can, let's turn. So if you're here and you're like hovering, you put the nose down, the drone starts to come down. So anytime you kind of pitch forward a lot, you got to give it a little more throttle. Slowly do it. I'm a little used to acro mode, so like I tend to see to yaw and roll like you do in acro. But in angle mode, really you could just pitch forward and just spin. But just practice holding a level and flying around, you know, and then just use these map, explore, you know, and you just practice keeping a level. Down the car, you can practice coming through stuff. They have little things to fly through here. This is designed for micro drones, so they give you stuff to go through. Same thing as you fly through your house, you know, you can fly under a chair, fly under stuff, and just the whole point of the beginning. Is that door open? I have run into glass before. Is just mainly right now all you're doing is just your throttle. You know, you just want to practice keeping the drone level at different levels. You know, I'm just flying through things, so it's just like I'm not sitting in place, but that's it. You just want to like If anything goes wrong, if you're flying and you're like, oh god, oh god, oh god, just hit the disarm. Oh, it doesn't disarm. Okay, well I can't disarm it, but you just hit the disarm and the drone falls out of the sky. So like if you're flying or whatever, anything happens, just disarm and let it fall out of the sky. These things don't break. You know, you can just get going again. Wiggle it around. If it's upside down, they have turtle mode that I didn't set up where you can flip the drone back over. You know, and then you just practice. Practice just flying like low to the ground. If you don't have anything to fly through, just practice flying low to the ground and just keeping that thing. And then as you get better and better, you know, you can go faster and faster. And you can just like fly around. And then you're gonna do this in your house and just make your own little racetrack, you know, in your house. And then, I mean, you can fly acro too in the house, but we'll do that for another time. Oop, not paying attention, looking at the camera. You know, I've never been in this map. Can I leave? Is there glass here? Oh, there's glass here. I can't leave. The other ones have great graphics. It doesn't have the sticks there. It's in angle mode, right? And this one actually calls it angle mode. But yeah, this is VelociDrone. They just have different tracks. I own all of them. I don't remember what liftoff costs. Wow, this is slow. This is really not doing much of an angle. I haven't played this one in forever. Been playing Try FPV a lot because you can follow the parasailers, motorcycle people. You can follow race cars and off-road trucks in this. There is a way to get the go-karts to show up. Is it spacebar? Here's Alt. Control. There's a way to get the race cars to show up on these tracks like this. But yeah, but it's the same thing. Like you use a different one, it's the same thing. You just practice, you know, like just holding an altitude. You know, these are the racetracks here. See these lines here? You can also do the racetracks to get better. And you just practice holding level, like just holding an altitude. You know, just hold it steady. And you just keep practicing. The whole point is just to get used to getting to an altitude and hold it there. Once you do that, everything else just becomes easier. And then you can practice like moves and stuff. Which I don't know how to change the modes here. But yeah, I just wanted to show this one. But the go-karts didn't show up. I don't know how to bring them in. Alright, let's go try it with a wheel drive. Let's go try it. Most whoops have this style where you slide the battery into this little battery part. A little hard for me to get it in with one hand while I'm filming, but it slides in down there. This is a GMB connector. There's different types of whoop connectors, but the same thing. It's supposed to only go in one way, but still make sure you put positive to positive. And also with batteries, 1S you could drain down to 3 volts, but when it starts getting below 3.3 it's going to tank fast, so be ready to end your flight. You got to watch your voltage. You also want to store them at storage volt, about 3.8 volts when you're going to store them. You don't store them at full charge, you don't store them at dead, because they will not last very long at all. But if you, every time you're done flying, you charge them back to 3.8 volts, they'll last a very long time. The battery onto the drone, you want to try to make sure it's balanced even left to right, up, down, so that the weight is kind of centered as much as possible. You know, it doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but it helps with the drone being level, flying right, if the weight is as even as possible. If you bought a kit, it usually comes set up, but the other thing you have to check, see up there it says B3 and 5771, that's your frequency. You have to make sure that the drone VTX and your goggles are on the same frequency. Like if you bought a kit, they'll come like set up, but if not, you can turn on the drone, and there's also a way to just scan. This is set up on race band 8. If you can do it manually and switch if you know what it is, but also goggles have a scan built in. They have these built-in scans. Why does it keep switching cameras? where it'll scan frequencies to find which ones your drone's on. If you don't know, I usually just go to Betaflight and pick the exact frequency to make sure it finds the right one. See, well, that is the right one. I found it. See, you can scan and find it. All right. All right, so we scan, we got the frequency. Also, the other thing is you got sticks. You can yaw left, pitch up, or yaw right, pitch up. What the fuck? Yeah, yaw left, pitch up. I don't know why it didn't work. Profile, no. Go features, go to VTX, you got your band. Frequency, power is at 25. If you need to go further, you can raise the power. Or leave it 25 if you're in the house. Save it. Battery not full because the drone's been running a while. Alright, so now I should have did this on the floor. Now it's in angle mode. You hit your arm switch. Throttle has to be all the way down. You hit your arm switch and you slowly go up in throttle. See what percentage going up until it starts to hover and leaves the table. See, on drone it's not perfect, especially this old one. That you have to move around throttle a little. I have it on 3S. It's really a 4S drone just to lower the power. But yeah, this one's not perfect. It's really old. Frame's not good. You know, you just practice hovering. Go down a little, and then try to hover at a different point. I don't know where the dog is. I don't want to bother the dog. Oh, she's in her bed. Okay. Also, now that you have wind, you're not on the sim, when you go over things, you do get a little bit of turbulence. It'll go up, like level the pitcher, you know, the pitcher, and then try to hold the throttle straight at this level. Like you can't just keep it. The AC blows it, the turbulence of the wall. This drone's also old and not good. And I'll try some of the other ones that are way better. But yeah, I gotta keep moving it because the AC is blowing it. It's not like on the sim where it's the perfect world. And you can't just hold the thing. You have wind that messes it up, makes it go up. So right there, the AC's on, so you can hear the motors changing pitch as they go. You can't hold 48, so now it's dropping out. I gotta pick it up. See, now it's going down. So you get more throttle. I got all my work stuff there. Go somewhere away from the AC. But you can't just stay at 50 because see, it starts to come down. So you would have to like give it more throttle, going up, come back down. You know, still going up. You have to slowly sit there and like just play with it. Like basically just move it a little bit up and down to try to keep the level you want. And then just practice going at different levels so closer to the ground. And just move the stick for pitch and roll just to try to keep it in place and just practice hovering at different levels until you feel comfortable with it. And once you feel you can hold it at a certain level and you get comfortable, you know, and it doesn't matter if you crash. These things don't break, you know. I think I have air mode off. I can bump up stuff. Like it doesn't matter if you crash. You can bump into stuff. They got prop guards. They don't hurt anything. You know, worst case you have to get up and flip it over. If you can't flip it back over, oh no, my dog's fur in this damn house. Okay. And just the dog moves. So just practice. So you come up to this level and then hold it there, and then you just start slowly moving around the house, holding a level. When you get in front of the AC is going to push it. 35mm one. I don't think it's going to make it through here. Then we can land. There's the dog. She doesn't like the drones because they're noisy and annoying. So if I get too close to her, she bites him or nose blocks him. But yeah, so you just practice. Just practice. These are my goggles. My gaggles. And that's the controller. It has lights on it. Ah, it flew for 7 minutes going slow.